Okay, so you're in the vertical software game, right? And you know AI isn't just some new feature. It is a full-on seismic shift. The big question is, how do you navigate it without accidentally blowing up your own business model? Well, let's dive into a strategic playbook for not just surviving, but actually winning in this new age of AI.
First things first, we have to talk about the biggest and, frankly, the most counterintuitive problem on the table. It's what we call the AI revenue paradox. This is the wild idea where your incredible, game-changing AI product could actually sink your revenue. Sounds completely crazy, doesn't it? Let's break down how that can happen.
And this just lays it all out perfectly. So before AI, you sell 20 seats to a team and you're pulling in 24 grand a year. Great. Then you roll out this powerful AI that makes them insanely productive. And what happens? They now only need 8 people to do the exact same amount of work. So what's your reward for delivering all that incredible value? A 60% drop in your revenue. The math here is just brutal.
So here's the bottom line. The traditional seat-based pricing model rewards headcount. The more people your customer hires, the more money you make. But the entire point of AI is to reduce that headcount, to automate the repetitive work. Suddenly, your value proposition is in a head-on collision with your revenue model. That's a broken system, and it has to change. So, to solve this paradox, we can't just tinker around the edges with pricing. No, we need to go deeper. We have to understand the 3 fundamental, truly tectonic shifts that AI is causing in the software world. Because once you grasp these, you have the keys to building a whole new strategy. The first shift is all about architecture. We are moving away from a world of rigid, hard-coded features and into a world with a flexible intelligence layer. You know, instead of a simple API just connecting data to a user interface, we now have this AI agent layer that sits right in the middle. It understands what the user actually wants to do and then orchestrates the actions to make it happen. It's a system that adapts instead of just following a script. And that new architecture leads us directly to the second big shift. You see, when you have an intelligence layer that's delivering actions, you're not just selling a tool anymore, you're selling a result. The entire value proposition pivots away from selling seats and features and moves towards selling measurable business outcomes. And that, of course, fundamentally changes how you go to market.
And the final shift here is all about control. AI isn't some on or off switch. It's more like a dimmer. It's a whole spectrum. It goes from a simple copilot that just gives you suggestions all the way up to fully autonomous agents that can coordinate complex tasks with each other. The winning strategy isn't about jumping straight to level 5 everywhere. It's about using the right level of autonomy for the right task.
Okay, so we get the shifts. Now what? How do you actually protect your business in this new landscape? Well, the answer, and this is absolutely crucial, isn't to try and build a better AI model. It's to build a deep, defensible moat around the one thing your competitors can't just copy. Now, this slide is strategically brilliant. Think about it. The user interface on top, that's commoditizing. People might just use ChatGPT to interact with things. The huge language models, at the bottom, also a commodity. Pretty much anyone can get access to GPT or Claude. Your only, and I mean only, truly defensible ground is that middle layer. Your proprietary data, your domain-specific business logic, and your deep customer integrations. That's your fortress. Building that defense isn't a single step. It requires a 4-layer strategy. And these aren't just separate tactics. They're compounding layers that reinforce each other, creating that powerful competitive advantage. Let's break each one down. Layer 1 is the foundation. It's the bedrock. This is where you take all of your unique domain expertise, all your documents, your policies, your industry know-how, and you transform it into an AI-ready model. This is where things like retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, become so important, because it allows the AI to pull answers directly from your specific knowledge base. Okay, next, you build on top of that foundation with a digital workforce. These aren't people. They're specialized AI agents that are trained to use your knowledge base to execute specific tasks and automate really complex workflows. You can think of them as a team of tireless, expert employees who know your business processes inside and out. Layer 3 is all about control and, well, making money. You create a robust, controlled API gateway. Now, this isn't just a technical detail. It is the toll booth for your moat. It's what lets you meter usage, enforce security and permissions, and, critically, it's how you charge for access to your unique data and that powerful agentic workforce. And finally, layer 4 is how your customers experience all this power. You have to completely reimagine the user experience. Instead of just clicking buttons in a clunky interface, your users can interact through conversation, they get proactive suggestions, and they benefit from ambient intelligence that's just working in the background. This makes that indispensable middle layer of yours incredibly valuable and super sticky.
So we've got the high-level strategy down. Now let's get our hands dirty. Let's shift to the tactical playbook, the concrete actions you can actually take starting right now.
To fix that revenue paradox we talked about at the beginning, you absolutely need a new pricing model. This table here lays out 5 options. Now, while pure usage is good for APIs and tiered subscriptions can work for smaller businesses, for most of you, the real sweet spot is the hybrid model. That's a predictable base subscription fee plus usage-based charges. It lets you capture value from your power users without scaring everybody else off.
And look, the market data completely backs this up. A staggering 85% of enterprise AI deals are already using these new models. The move away from pure seat-based pricing isn't some theory for the future. It is happening as we speak. A hybrid model is the safest, most effective place to start.
So, how do you actually roll this out? The recommended path is super clear. Start internally. Use your own teams as the testing ground for 6 to 12 months. This is a fantastic low-risk way to prove the technology works, to build up your own expertise, and to get some immediate cost savings before you ever expose it to a paying customer.
Now, when it comes to implementation, I love this concept of lead bullets, not a silver bullet. What does that mean? Don't make one massive, high-risk bet on a single, monolithic AI system. That's a recipe for disaster. Instead, the smart move is to run a portfolio of 5 to 7 smaller, targeted pilots all in parallel. This completely de-risks the process and dramatically speeds up how fast you learn. And that portfolio needs to be diverse. You should be running pilots on internal automation, new external product features, different pricing models, and your core infrastructure, all at the same time. This multi-front strategy lets you quickly figure out what works so you can double down on the winners and kill the failures fast and cheap.
This all leads us to one final and really critical point. This isn't some strategic exercise you can put on the back burner for some distant future. There is a real and a rapidly closing window of opportunity. The next 12 to 18 months, right now through 2026, that is the critical window. This is not a gradual change. The companies that establish AI leadership in this period are going to create compounding advantages in their data, in their talent, and in customer integration that will be nearly impossible for the laggards to overcome later. Please let this sink in. Waiting around for the perfect strategy or for the perfect technology is the most dangerous thing you can do right now. The risk of being left behind is so much greater than the risk of starting with small, measured, and maybe even imperfect steps today.
Because here's the reality. New AI-native startups are being built in your vertical right now. They don't have legacy code. They don't have outdated business models to worry about. They are moving, and they are moving fast. So the only real question left is, are you?